All right, South Carolina and Georgia. Next up here, we've got Georgia 27.5-point home favorites, 54.5 being the total in this game. I mean, the last thing you want with South Carolina is issues along the offensive line when you're playing a team like Georgia. And that's obviously the biggest and gravest worry that I have for them here in this matchup against Georgia. And you look at the last 2 years, these two teams head-to-head since Beamer has been here as the coach, 40-13, 48-7, non-competitive, all Georgia, really, in both of those games. I don't know if things are going to change here all that much for South Carolina. I know they beat Furman and covered 47-21. It was a bounce back after the North Carolina loss for Spencer Rattler and company. But I'm telling you what, I don't know if I trust the O-line to hold up here. They didn't hold up against North Carolina, and now you're facing an even better defensive line here in this game. How are you going to handle that if you're the Gamecocks? And I like Shane Beamer. Like I said, I think he's a nice hire, done good things, but definitely would be concerning. They couldn't run the ball at all in that game versus North Carolina as well. It took a while for Georgia's offense to get going against Ball State, but once they did, they still ended up covering the closing number, 45-3 victory over Ball State. Still the same old Georgia defense. They've given up 10 points in the first two games combined. Not the greatest of opponents, UT Martin and Ball State. I mean, Rattler will test them a lot more, but this is just one of those games where series history has given me no indication South Carolina can really do much against this Georgia team. So I'm passing. I won't be involved, but certainly not looking to go against Georgia given their dominant defensive efforts against South Carolina and the series history. Again, last two head-to-head meetings, 40-13, 48-7 in favor of the Dogs. What do you think here, Conor?
Yes, can South Carolina score on this Georgia defense? I don't know. I don't think so. I got to wait on South Carolina, maybe take them. They caught fire against the number and played well last year at the end of the year. Right now, I don't want them. And you know what the problem is, Babano, is the defense. I mean, they gave up even, what was it last week, 21 to Furman? Yep. And I think they had over 350. I know they put over 40 on them, but that defense, and they got killed against North Carolina. And one thing, if I saw that line that North Carolina had 9 sacks, they'd be in trouble. Rattler would be running for his life. And we know what happens then, mistakes with him. So right now, early in the week here, I'd only lay it or be off. Normally I'd look to take the dog, but I just can't. I can't find it right now this early in the year with them and these points.
Yeah, SEC opener at home for Georgia. CBS has this game. I mean, it's hard to fathom that they're not going to be ready to play this football game, Georgia. Carson Beck, I think there's room for improvement. Like, he's still getting used to being a starter. He's had some rough moments, but he'll get it going. Most of the time you see these quarterbacks at Georgia. We didn't love Stetson Bennett at the very beginning when he started at Georgia, and he ended up turning into having a pretty damn good career there and a national champion. So yeah, give Carson Beck time. Definitely, it's been a little up and down for him. Once he got it going though last week against Ball State after a sluggish start. There's definitely talent there. And we'll see if he continues to improve week by week.